Hello all. Today we'll start uh, 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 the ultimates of this series of uh, uh, ASCO-GOIS international webinars. Today is the fourth webinar entitled Example of Scientific Exploration of Resource Saving Better Value Cancer Drug Systemic Therapy. As you know, this is part of BE certificate and of the program of BE Game Changers in Global Oncology. I am Ahmed Elzawawy, Chair of Win-Win Initiative, also founders and president of ICDoc, and this program of Global Oncology Implementing Science is part of Global Oncology University, and Professor of Clinical Oncology, South Carolina University, Chairman of Al Suleiman Radiation and Clinical Oncology, Port Said, Egypt, past president of Aortic African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, and co-president of SIM. This is based mainly on chapter 15. I am the author of this chapter, and the editor would be Will Digwa, this book. Disclosure of conflicts, none. I completely follow scientific approaches, works of many scientists, and evidence. Moreover, we raise brainstorming scientific stimulation open for all what could lead to increased affordability of better value cancer care in the world, in the real world. I didn't invent anything here. I don't take fees for my lectures or financial support from any. I am aligned only to what could be beneficial to millions of patients with cancer, regardless of who they are or where they are. And I inspired this work from this initiative, and all what I'm presenting here is from the work of distinguished colleagues, international organization scientists. So I invented nothing, and this initiative belongs to all. President of the whole series is Professor Robinson, president of ASCO 2024-2025, and here is a very nice introduction of her. The chair of the series, Professor David K., Professor Eduardo Gazab. You will listen today to their very precious lecture, really. Professor Antanok, very, very valuable lecture. Support your knowledge and our knowledge in such initiative. Professor Catherine Van Loon, Professor Index Suto, planner and coordinator is me, the Swedish border and panelist in alphabetical order. And here they are, and the porter, Jack and Abba. You'll find all details. Along the GOIS program, and it's this short lecture, we don't transfer some information in passive way, but we raise brainstorming points. So your feedback and positive interaction and following, and go, Sarah, the material here, and come back to us is very important. All your feedback is considered. The summary of some selective feedback will be appear in the next editions. We are partners. We are partners. As you know, despite of conference organization declaration of many efforts the world and hundreds of publications, health system would not cope with the skyrocketing rise of the total cost of cancer care. Of that total cost of that do not commensurate with the increase of patient-centered outcome and affordability of better value cancer care. In the Win-Win Initiative, we advocate that the lowering total cost and increase better value cancer care could be improved with smart and scientific approach. All will win. No rivalries. We advocate to collaboration and close collaboration between all. The win-win is broader than just choose wisely based on views or surveys and not just following common sense. The win-win initiative is a forum open for all and belongs to all. No rivalries. It is scientifically feasible to, this is an important question. It is scientifically feasible to lower the remarkably of the total cost of cancer care without compromising the outcome of patient, or is just talk? No, it is stress on. Yes, yes, yes. It will be possible. True progress lies not in punishing the past and not in repeating the previous pitfalls or mistakes, but in fixing the future. This is what could be constructive game changers. And you, what do you think? A schedule of the fourth and fifth webinar, this is outlines and keynote speech. Very valuable and precious. Listen to it, please, and come back with your feedback and discussion. Then will be open discussion, conclusion, and future direction. The record of webinars will be accessible to all. The PDF of these slides is available on demand. The next webinar, the fifth webinar, will give more ample time for discussion and your feedback. So please go through this material till the next and the links that we will provide here. Material and links to the video of the lecture. Part 1, this is the link, and available in PDF. You will find here to click to find the details of this part 1. It's decreasing how to decrease the need of chemotherapy hospitalization. As outpatient, some known oral drugs, as you know, capecitabine, cyclophosphamide, vinorelbine, etoposide, and the oral hormonal therapy like tamoxifen, anastrozole, letrozole, exemestane, and progesterone. This is all known. Example of new oral cancer drugs like oral taxanes. It is all details in the lecture. You will find it in the link here. Ongoing development of chemotherapy routes, subcutaneous, trastuzumab, pertuzumab. Another new exciting example of mode of administration is transdermal estradiol in prostate carcinoma. Transdermal. A new nebulizer device for treating lung cancer with the chemotherapy drug cisplatin. A pharmacokinetic study to changing regime of infusion. Starting this part 2, you find the link here. The material here is a lecture that explains many things here. And here is the link. Starting with changing infusion regime, the phase 1 and 2 trial of prolonged infusion of gemcitabine are one example. Less frequent cycle of comparable efficacy, like zoledronic acid, Zometa, 4 milligram 12 every 12 weeks instead of 4 weeks in bone metastasis. Nivolumab, time is money, so 480 milligram every 4 weeks instead of 240 milligram every 2 weeks. This is according to Rattan and Goldstein. Atezolizumab, Goldstein and Rattan also searches for right dose and frequency by therapeutic drug monitoring. Other alternative is using standard 840 milligram dose, but with a dosing interval greater than the recommended interval of 2 weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks. Pembro, as you know, pembrolizumab, dosing every 8 to 12 weeks, gives similar and comparable results in non-small lung cancer. Shorter course, as you know, the famous example of trastuzumab and pertuzumab. Dose optimization of new drugs. A plea from Professor Marken Rattan and Alan Lichter to improve FDA, to empower, to support and to empower FDA for new actions for dosing, for adjustment, for revisiting the dose, and many indication and many things. Example of proposal of scientific studies that aim to lower the dosage while retaining comparable efficacy. Also, the FDA has done so for several drugs. The vast majority of oncology drugs over the last decades have been developed and approved at their maximally tolerated dose, which is not right, leading to off-target adverse event that may be fatal, as in the case of ibrutinib. Ibrutinib used in patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Erlotinib, Tarziba, as you know, used in patients with non-small cell lung cancer, reducing the dose from 150 milligram to 100 or even 50 milligram daily. There are some studies I outline. I present here titles, but there are details in the link here, and this it is the ultimate of our program and series. Presents example, and then you will wait from you after reading these materials. Dasatinib dispersal used in treat certain type of chronic myeloid leukemia, low dose of 50 milligram daily, continue to demonstrate faster and deeper molecular response. Pembrolizumab in patient of non-small cell lung cancer, melanoma, bladder cancer, head and neck, personalized dosing, converting from flat 200 milligram to 2 milligram kilogram dose of pembrolizumab. Value-based prescribing strategies, this is very important, and that do not compromise outcome for new oral drugs alone. Alone, it could say, this alone could save up to 12 billions and more globally per year. This is better than searching for doing with what we have and looking for sense in reducing this. No, we can do many things in scientific way and not satisfying with this is what we have, then we give it is essential drugs and forget about the others. No, and it could save about $100,000 or maybe more per patient. After many publication, presentation, and plead and demand by many experts, including us, that we cited over years, you find the reference here in our books, we presented this. A great news, Project Optimus. It is by the FDA itself, but for its Project Optimus for reforming dose optimization and dose selection paradigm in oncology. It's very important. Reforming dose optimization, all what is present in the guidelines in the last years and many things. Revisiting and reforming and optimization and dose selection. However, according to Professor Ian Tannock, as you will listen today, unfortunately, the FDA will apply that correction for what will come and not for the previously approved. This, unfortunately. Do you agree with that? Professor David Kerr, optimizing dose selection for cancer medicine. A very important lecture. Professor Tannock, can anti-cancer drugs be administered in shorter course at lower dose to improve access to effective treatment? What evidence do we need to change the practice? Professor Eduardo Gazap, and also important relevant reference and material you'll find here. Part 4, you'll find the link here, starting with food effects, then generics, then repurposing, part generics and part repurposing after. This you will find all this in part 4. We find the lecture here. Example of dose reduction using food effects and drug interaction. Lapitanib, converting from 1,250 milligram with fasting to 500 with food. Abiraterone, converting from 1,000 to 250 milligram with food or grape juice. Pazopanib, converting from 800 milligram with fasting to 60 milligram with food. Certinib, capsule converting from 750 with fasting to 450 milligram with food. Venclexta, capsule converting from 400 milligram to 600 or 600 to 70 milligram daily only when taken with 300 milligram bazoconazole. generic equivalent and biosimilar of cancer chemotherapy. Links, here is the links. You'll find a very nice comprehensive approach here. Repurposing and repositioning. This is the first is the link to our first webinars. It's very interesting. A webinar of 2 hours is repurposing and repositioning drugs. This is one of the approaches, important approaches. Item of material of webinar next time. This material, please go through it and revise it. Starting with pharmacogenomic studies, pharmacogenomic study and value-based treatment. Evidence-based medicine could reduce cost and achieve equal or better outcome. More spending on cancer drug could have lower value. Next, reduction of the use of expensive supportive care drugs without strong evidence. Next, value-based reduction in overall therapy. Then, less toxic pathways. Part 6 is very important, starting with counterfeit drugs. This is the MIST global campaign, the fight against counterfeit drug. You'll find this counterfeit medicine is worth 200 billion US dollar and cause 1 million deaths annually in the world. Are there proposed solutions? Yes, yes, yes. And you will find some example of solutions in the text here. The full lecture and in our book. But you find here the link. Part 7, starting with control of utilization of drug. This is win-win notion and initiative. The pharmaceutical response to interventional pharmacoeconomic study, the choosing wisely campaign and initiative, the other scientific initiative could contribute in reducing the cost of cancer drug treatment, previously taken in third outcome. But the win-win is broader and encompass and englobe all this. And based on scientific evidences. Repairing the compensation system used for oncologists in USA and in other countries, the rich and the less frequent, less affluent country. This we wanted to be this is if we want to be realistic in the real world. And this final notes you find here in the lecture. Please note that I didn't invent anything here. It belongs to all. This initiative belongs to all. The scientific initiative will grow broadly and widely and globally and be globally effective only with your contribution. All of you. Advocacy. This is yours. And with the leadership of many scientists and oncologists and experts. Welcome all and thank you. Thank you all. We are waiting your feedback, and this initiative belongs to you and going forward in fruitful cooperation. Thank you all. Bye-bye.